Welcome to Thoughts and Discourses on Digital Transformation. Dive into a world of insightful conversations and profound ideas. Join us as we explore the latest trends, challenges, and opportunities in the digital age.
Okay, I'm back with another quick 10-minute demo. This time I am going to do some vibe coding. What that really means is I'm going to use, in this case, English language and a tool called Lovable.dev to generate some code in a mini application. Lovable.dev, there are several of these applications out there. Cursor, another one. Lovable is opinionated. What I mean by that is it does certain things well and focuses on doing certain things. So one of the things it does is it focuses on React applications, right? So that's the area. If you want to write a Python application behind the scenes or a Java application, Lovable is not your tool. Also has some tight integration. So they worked very hard on doing integrations, one into Supabase, another one is to GitHub. You can also collaborate with other people on this, as well as being able to publish your application. And so what I did here is, hey, I told it to create a blank project called Forex. Don't create anything in it, and I'll give it some more instructions. So it spun up a new project, and it would allow me to connect to Supabase and GitHub and all that kind of fun stuff. So now what I'm going to do is do my typical demo, which is, hey, go create a currency converter web app and use MasterCard's enhanced currency API to go do that. And I'm also having it use a no code API, which is SaaS, which has an overlay on it. I'm doing that because one, of interest in time, and two, all of these no code tools really struggle with certain aspects of security, such as certificates. They just can't seem to get certificates right. So it's going to go do that. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes once it's gone and created that app. And we can see how well it's actually doing that. And with typical vibe coding, there's normally some issues that you then have to go and look at and resolve, because they're not 100% perfect yet. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. We can see what I did, right? So I created, a website. Let's go see if we can test it. No drop downs. So we got a problem with the drop down. So let me just tell it there is no data in the drop downs. So again, this is typical. It struggles to figure out the whole API as well as the user interface on it. So we'll see. It doesn't really need to have a drop down, but hey, again, if you were probably to go run this 10 different times, you'll get 10 different user interfaces, and that's just the way it works with vibe coding. This is why it's probably good for demos, proof of concepts. You can struggle with some side effects, right? If I was to go and update it, it might suddenly change the color scheme, and you didn't really ask it to do that. But it suddenly decides what it's going to do, right? And so that's one of the things. How do you break up? If you really wanted to be into vibe coding, how do you break up an application? And again, you probably best to start to break it up into services and have these services interact with each other versus trying to do it in a massive code base and things like that, right? So we'll see. Did we actually? Oh, it says no currencies available, right? So fix did not work. Right. Yep, no currency is available. So it looks like whatever it's doing, it's not able to get the list of currencies. And again, that's pretty typical. It's struggling to do certain things, right? Especially with APIs. If it's not 100% accurate, right, APIs will fail. We're probably not giving it enough information to be successful with the list of currencies. And I thought I had given it enough, but obviously it's not being able to do that. Now, the nice thing is, if we were really good at React, we could actually start to look at the code itself, right? And say, hey, what is maybe wrong with this source code, right? So here we go. Here is the code as we've got it here, right? So you can actually start to go in and you can actually use your own code editor to go and update the code as needed, right? So you can do clone the code in GitHub and then make an update, and all of that kind of good typical engineering pieces, right? So it gets into right. Oh, here suddenly being able to um, do stuff, right? And again, it looks like it was able to get the information, right, but it's not able to do the conversion. So there's um, so I'll tell it to refactor the currency converter. Hopefully it will do that, but you can see here, and again, it's got interesting kind of logos with some of this stuff. So you got to wonder why it's done all of that. But hey, um, right. And so you don't quite know what it's doing. It's not able to do any conversion, right? And get back any data. So you got to wonder what it's doing there. So I'll be back once I've figured this out. Okay, I'm back. So basically, I told it to refactor. That didn't work. And so then I said, hey, the currency conversion doesn't display any values. And then it basically, uh, figured out there was an issue with the data it was getting back. And so now what you can see is I'm getting back, some data. So here you go. Very quickly, I've been able to create a very simple app, and so pretty cool, right? So can I go and expand on this, right? So what else would you want to do in a website? Well, it's kind of not a great website here. So let's go and see if we can create a color scheme. Also, can I go and use no code API to put data into Google Sheets, right? So if I look at no code API, right, there's a Google Sheets integration. And so I can go and put data into Google Sheets using an API. Pretty simple solution there. And again, let's see what we can do, right? Again, it's all about APIs and very specific about what data that you give them and the format and the data. Let's see how well Lovable handles API. So it says it's going to create a newsletter sign up page, right? Let's use a mess card and color scheme. I don't want to get involved in copyrights, but hey, let's go create something more interesting than a plain black and white website. And again, you can start to see all of this code, right? Getting created here, and hopefully, I'll refresh and we'll go into this, and you'll be able to see some more of the components that's created, right? And so it's starting to refactor some of this reasonably well. And the big thing would be, okay, what can I do with this website, right? So it'll take a few more minutes. Now, the other thing that you probably want to do is look at the quality of the code that you're generating here, right? And so there's lots of tools. A Sonar Cloud or Sonar Cube is a tool that will grade your code, and you can connect that to your GitHub repository. There's going to start to be some tools, AI generated tools to review your code. This is one I've just started to play with, Greptile. It's an AI tool. It looks like there's no pull requests in the GitHub yet. And so these will be really useful to really review the code in GitHub. And what you'd want to do then is to push your code from GitHub versus leveraging some of these tools here, because you don't know the quality of tools. So you probably want to review it put this into CI/CD, so you don't push your code that's got any security vulnerabilities or just bad practices in there. So you can see here, it's recreated Find My Forex. It's stay updated on currency trends, right? So subscribe to newsletter. So we'll see if we can do that. Oh, it's got John Doe. So let's see John Doe and do John at tarvit.com, which is my own name. Let's say yes for that. And let's do 732-555-1212, right? Typical thing. Let's see how well it will post, right? So it says able to, thank you for subscribing to our newsletter. Great. You can see, oh, it's got the Mastercard logo. That's not good. It's not even the Mastercard logo. It's done something funky there, right? So again, I told it don't use any logos, and look what it did, right? So again, that's one of the aspects of vibe coding, is it doesn't quite work the way that you would expect it to do, right? So see here, it's done a review. It doesn't find any security issues. I'm telling it to do an update on this. So we'll do that. And I told it, subscribe to an email, and told it to go put it into a Google spreadsheet. And here we have it's got John Doe in the spreadsheet. So if I wanted to do marketing, again, this is just an example of what you can do. So you can start to daisy chain some information together. So that's pretty cool. So let me see if I can go find the website, Find My Forex. So here we go. Here's Find My Forex on the website, all done in about 10 minutes. Okay. Hopefully I'll have some more, and I'll probably start to do more, services, building these services and using vibe coding to connect them together. And that way we can get more functionality done than just a simple currency converter website with a very simple newsletter. Okay, stay tuned. Thanks a lot. Bye.